we were talking about the reconciliation process, which is designed basically to get around a Senate filibuster. There have been a lot of suggestions about whether the idea should be, rather than torture the reconciliation process, should we just get rid of the filibuster? What are your thoughts on that?
So when we look at sort of the filibuster over the long sweep of congressional history, we have seen over time kind of a slow chipping away at its power. So we have seen, for example, on the nomination side, a reduction in the number of votes needed to invoke cloture, first for lower court nominees and also for executive branch appointments in 2013. And in 2017, a reduction in the number of votes needed to invoke cloture for Supreme Court nominations. We've seen limitations placed on the amount of time available for consideration of a measure post-cloture. All sorts of kind of, again, slow chipping away at it. And so I'm of the mind that it's really a matter of not if, but when the Senate chooses to eliminate the filibuster. And I think that what we should think about is, at what point will a Senate majority under unified party control have some kind of policy priority that they are in unified agreement on, think is important enough to make a fundamental change to the way the Senate works to get done, and that's what'll break the dam. That clearly did not happen for Democrats in the 2 years when they enjoyed unified party control. We can sort of imagine what kind of issue might do that for Republicans the next time there is Republican unified control. But that's really how I think about it. It's at some point there will be a policy that the majority really wants to get done, and that'll be what breaks the dam. And we just haven't reached that point yet.
I mean, they used to sort of refer this as to the nuclear option, that you were going to go nuclear and repeal the filibuster. But I mean, having worked in the Senate for a number of years and watched the majority go from Republican to Democrat and back to Democrat and back to Republican, I mean, everybody remembers, being in the minority. And when you get to the majority, the incentive is, oh, well, I'm in the majority, I want to get done what I want to get done. But if you repeal the filibuster, just like you said before, the executive branch can do whatever it wants, but the next administration can come in and undo it. So you repeal the filibuster, that means you're in the majority, you get to do what you want, but that means when you're in the minority gets to do what they want, and they can just undo whatever it was you did. I mean, I guess I'm a little less, I don't say optimistic, but a little less willing to believe that the Senate is going to repeal the filibuster outright. I mean, chipping away at it and making exceptions seems the more likely avenue, I guess, because I can't see how. I mean, everybody knows what goes around comes around, and you're in the majority now, but you may be in the minority later. And do you really want to live with the consequences of your decisions? I don't know. It just seems a little hard to believe. So
yeah, and it could be we could be talking about far in the future. I mean, if you think about sort of the history of the debate around using the nuclear option on judicial nominations, like that was a very live issue in the mid 2000s, and then it took until 2013 for it to actually come to pass. So who knows? My
guess, and nobody can hold me to it, is that it will be chipped away and finally done away with, but it might take 30 years for that to happen.